Hi guys, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to get some messages from the ancestors. I had started the reading, guys, and then it was interrupted, so I had to start over. But I heard clearly before I started this reading that this is the moment of clarity. So let's just dig in and see what comes through. Heads up, I'm having some issues with my throat and allergies and stuff like that, so you may hear me pause and take a sip of my tea that I have close by. But this, guys, was very interesting to me. This Moonstone card. I don't know what this card is that came out. I haven't looked at it yet. But this Moonstone with slow it down. I feel like the clarity that's coming through is to hone in and focus on what it is that you desire with a sensation of allowance. They're showing me this vibration coming from this moon energy, and it's creating some type of balance. It's also providing clarity, and it's assisting and supporting I'm hearing the elevation of your manifestation. So it's almost like it's bringing the manifestation through the surface. So for some of you, you could be waiting on something. You could be anticipating a manifestation, something that you've been desiring. But in this moment, there's clarity that's going to be provided to you, is what I'm hearing. But also there's clarity that's needed to be given to you, offered to you, is what they're saying, in regards to how you can patiently wait for the arrival of the things that you desire. Again, it's coming through with like an allowance energy. Like if you allow, that's how I keep hearing it. Slowing down is going to be vital in this moment. It's interesting too, because I keep hearing like after the arrival. So for some of you, after your manifestation arrives, your ancestors could be asking you to take a break, to slow down, to pause, and to create moments where you're able to stand still. There's something about that moonstone that's wanting to be said too. We'll come back to it if they show me something. Oh my gosh, guys. Abundance with the ham. Guys, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. The domicile moon with abundance. This is the manifestation of what's coming in. It feels very powerful. It feels like the Eight of Wands energy. And wow, guys, right out the gate, it's this is being shown to me as like a sand. You know how the sand will just blow? It's like a whoosh, like a windfall of abundance is coming towards you. This is also going to come in threes, is what I'm hearing. And that it's going to, again, they keep talking about this. They've been talking about this the last week or so, like the domino effect of it. They're showing that again, how one thing will trickle into another. For some reason, I don't know why, guys, but I feel like the ancestors keep trying to teach lessons in regards to manifestation. Okay, so that message is coming through again, where they're speaking about learning how to manifest by allowing yourself to ease into. Okay, they're saying yes. So if you're watching this video, you are going to become, if you're not already, a master manifester. Okay, I have no idea where that's coming from. It's not me, guys. I'm not making this up because I don't know. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know to be a fact, but this is what they're saying. It's very clear. So maybe that's something that I'm here to assist and support with, is manifesting and becoming a master manifester, because they're showing these lessons. And you know, one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that in order to be the teacher, you have to be the student first. But also, I consider myself a lifelong learner, so I'm always the student, and I can come and, you know, bring any type of, you know, wisdom that's given to me through the ancestors or spirit, because all I am is a conduit. It's not that I have all this together, and I definitely don't have everything figured out. Like I said, I'm a student for life. I love learning. I love being open to receive information from ancestors, spirits, and guides, and I'm just grateful to be able to see these things as they show them to me and to translate them to you all. But what they're showing is like that this is a part of the channel. Okay, they're telling me, okay, this makes perfect sense, guys. This is what they're showing me. They're showing me a tree and how the tree is rooted. So they're saying if you are rooted in your lineage, if you're aware of where you came from, you can then move forward. So one thing that they told me when I switched the channel and said I'm going to just do ancestor readings is that I was like the recompense of my ancestors, which is the rewards for the hard work that they've put in. That's recompense. And so they're saying that this is what's happening with you all. If you're watching this channel, if you're watching this reading, you are the recompense of your ancestors. And so in order for that to take place, they have to root you first in your ancestral lineage. This is very interesting. This is bringing clarity though, guys. That's what they were saying. Wow. Okay. Makes sense. So this is rooting you in where you came from, right? So where you came from, that's the roots, the root of the tree. And then they're allowing you, which you have, not allowing, they're saying, no, they're saying you have done this yourself. So basically imagine that tree stump that grows up, right? That's the work that you've been putting in. Okay. It's 111 on the clock right now, guys. So you're rooted in your ancestors, rooted in your lineage, aware of where you came from, understanding the karma and dharma of your ancestors by that foundation. And then the stump is you. That's the work that you've put in. That stump sprouted up into a larger, taller tree stump, right? And then now what they're doing is they're gifting you with the abundance of the tree. So now the tree is able to bear fruit is what they're saying. Wow, this is powerful as heck. And I don't even know how many minutes are we into this reading. 6 minutes? Oh my gosh. Totally here for this. What they're saying though with the slow it down in the abundance card is that they're trying to teach you in the process how to carry this on. They're saying that dharma doesn't have to be temporary. So they're saying that your gifts, the manifestations, the things that you're hoping for, praying for, seeking, asking for, desiring, those things don't have to be limited. But they're saying there's a process to becoming a master manifester, and there's a process in how to actually go about receiving those things with, they're saying, efficacy. So the efficacy of the efforts, so the efficiency of the efforts that you're putting in, they're asking you to slow down in this moment because they want to teach you how to create that domino effect so that the abundance continues on for generations and generations and generations, they're saying. So they're not wanting these manifestations to stop with you. They want this to trickle on because obviously this is attached to your ancestors, right? So they want to keep this going, and your ancestors are here to assist and support you reaching your destiny. And that's how you can clear out this karma to get to dharma, is by assisting and supporting them and getting your lineage to your dharma by clearing out the karma. That tree stump is the clearing out of the karma that you've been doing. Okay, so this is awesome. This is awesome. I don't know what domicile is. I'm going to look that up because they keep pointing that word out to me. You guys know I like to look up words because I don't want to come back later and say, oh, okay, domicile. Let's see. Oh my God, guys. A domicile is a place of residence, a house or a home. Oh my gosh, guys. A permanent legal residence, according to dictionary.com. Guys, your ancestors are saying that they want to provide. This is exactly what they're saying. They want it to go on for generations and generations and generations. That is domicile. That's the word, to create permanent residency in abundance. Oh my gosh, guys. I had to step back so I could yell. This is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. I'm going to keep this slow it down to the side here because I feel like they're going to bring us back to that. That is freaking phenomenal. So the moment of clarity is first of all, I feel like I had a moment of clarity just now. I don't know about you guys. If so, drop it in the comments. But I feel like I had a moment of clarity because, guys, think about it. You know, nothing happens by happenstance. So the fact that, you know, they're calling these things out and even giving us this information is like clarity so that we can continue to proceed. I don't know. I'm just gibbering at this moment, but I just think this is so amazing. You guys know, if you watch my channel, I get really excited about, the ancestors coming through. I get really excited about the messages from spirit, angels. Like, I just get overwhelmed by the fact that they show up for us consistently and with such intention. Like, that is just amazing to me. And it's a reason to absolutely feel blessed, because they don't have to do this for us, right? But they choose to, because they see something in us that most of us probably don't see in ourselves. So this can be overwhelming for me as a channeler, just heads up. So forgive me, or not, but crystal quartz here, guys. This not clarity? Is this not clarity, guys? This crystal quartz with focus. This is so interesting, because how it's being shown to me is that they're trying to teach us to slow down so that we can keep our eyes focused on where we're going rather than where we came from. And if you watched any of the other readings, you'll notice that the previous readings have been a lot about clearing up the past, kind of getting rid of the energy of the past, making room for the new. So it's almost like this energy here is bringing in clarity to a bigger focus, like broadening our perspective. It's almost like I'm seeing like the Sagittarian energy of expansion. There's something for sure, especially as we move into the age of Aquarius. There's definitely going to be moments where I think we are going to be called out of our comfort zones in order for us to assist in a larger vision, a bigger perspective, right? Something that is not so isolated to us. And what I think is amazing is, in my own personal journey, I've realized that, when you have gone through traumatic experiences, when you've dealt with a lot of heartbreak, when you've dealt with a lot of pain in your life, when you've had a lot of familial challenges, what happens is we can be stuck in our own little worlds. And so our ancestors are kind of calling us back to the things that they may have been focused on, the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that your birthright is abundance. So now, how are you going to get it? And also, how are you going to keep it? How are you going to keep it? This abundance that's coming your way, how are you going to ensure that it's not temporary, but rather sustaining you for the rest of your life, as well as your children and future generations, right? Beyond your children. What is it that you desire your children to have, to attain? What type of lifestyle? Sorry guys, I'm writing down this title, but they're speaking and telling me other things in the process too. They're telling me that there's the ancestors are asking you all to assess what abundance really is to you. If you watched one of my other readings that I posted earlier in the week, I don't remember which one, guys, but if you watched one of the other ones, I mentioned, because they brought up the fact that they were teaching me what abundance is still, right? And abundance is kind of like love to me. Those two words are things that I feel are very hard to define. They're individual, like they're defined by the individual. It's not something that I think can be like a broad, abundance means this. No, abundance means something different to each of us, and it's based on our personal perspective, the crown chakra, and how we relate and see the world around us, right? So that world view. But they were bringing up during the reading how they're teaching me to learn how to be abundant, to just simply be. Abundance is me. And so this is something that I have to recite to myself daily, often several times throughout the day, to remind myself that I'm not waiting for anything to come in. I already have everything that I desire, because everything that I desire is within me. It is me that is the abundance. And I think for most of us who have been through, again, any of the traumatic experiences, pains, things like that I mentioned earlier, it's very challenging to think of yourself in that way when you feel like life has not necessarily been abundant for you. Okay. And I think even for others who felt like life has been abundant for them, I think it can still be challenging, because you're still needing to and being asked to go in and to create magic in your mind when that may not necessarily be your, like what you're actually experiencing in life, if that makes any sense. So the ancestors are just showing that abundance is your birthright. Okay, and that's what I'm going to name this reading. Abundance is your birthright. This is something that you were destined to have if you're watching this reading. And they're saying that but it comes with something. So it's like abundance is your birthright, but it comes with a price. There's a cost attached to it, right? And that cost is for you to remain. They keep talking about balance too. They were talking about balance earlier when I was preparing for the reading. There's something about balance, focus, and having a clear mind. And they're saying heart. Okay. They're showing this eagle card here with vision. And the eagle is, a bird who flies high. I don't think an eagle is a bird. Anyways, but they're I'm just going to call them a bird for the sake of this reading. There's something else, but I can't think of the word right now. It's whatever a falcon is. And you guys know I love birds, but for some reason it's not coming to my mind. Anyways, not important for this. But eagles have a higher perspective. One thing that the ancestors are bringing to my attention right now is something that I learned about years ago. I was taught that, and this is something that's actually factual. You can go and look it up. It's just heads up, I'm seeing 1111, guys, on something that I'm looking at right now. But there's the eagle. When the eagle sees a storm, say this is the storm right here, the eagle is going to go at the storm head on, because they know that the wind and the rushing energy of the storm is going to elevate them. It's going to rise them up to a higher level. They're not going to sink. They're going to elevate. They're going to promote. And so there's something here in regards to in accepting and being abundant. You accept the fact that those challenges, those heartbreaks, the pains, the traumatic experiences, the losses that you may be seeing as losses still, those are actually gains. These things were benefits to you, because if those things and those experiences hadn't happened, then there's no way you would have this vision that you have now. Okay, it's like through the fire you come out, but you don't smell like smoke. But through the fire, you also are refined. It's that phoenix rising from the ashes energy that they're given with this card. It only comes by means of you accepting and embracing the past for what it was, the opportunity, the gift, and the abundance that it provided you with. For a lot of us, I don't believe that we would be able to operate in abundance unless we were willing to release those past experiences, because abundance is also about clarity. It's about being able to see through the illusions. And this eagle has this vision and this foresight. This eagle is able to not worry about things that are low on the ground, because he's flying high. He's not concerned about, the chickens. I think Joyce Meyer preached a message about that one day. Like, an eagle doesn't worry about chickens on the ground. I think it was her. And it's so powerful, because that's the truth. In order for you to be abundant, there is a requirement that you not worry about things that impact your mental, that keep you in an 8 of Swords energy, that disrupt your energy. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, like those are kind of lower energies, and you have to focus in order to be able to see that vision from that higher perspective. There's also something coming through about divine timing right now, and they're bringing that up to say that things happen at the right time, whether you want to believe that, accept that, embrace that or not. A part of abundance is not waiting for anything. They're showing me Mooji, Mooji. You guys know I talk about him a lot on the channel because I think his meditations are phenomenal, especially for beginners. But he talks a lot about being present in the now, not trying to jump to the future and also not going backwards, but allowing yourself to be present in the now. And there's something that the ancestors are bringing through in regards to now, and allowing the now to just be what it is. If we are abundance, if we represent abundance, which if you think about it, if we're made in the image of God, we are, divinity ourselves, right? What the heck are we missing? Like, what are we missing? What's missing? I don't know. I sit with that energy often because, again, I'm still learning. So I'm still figuring this whole abundant thing out. But I think it's very interesting, just the thought of that. Like, wait, if I'm divinity myself, then what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? And I think if most of us sit back and really assess life through the lens of a more holistic perspective, this eagle vision, a higher perspective, I think we'll realize that we probably aren't lacking as much as we really think we are. I think that there's a lot of comparison that occurs in societies, especially in American societies and in different cultures. And I think those things can alter our ability to actually stay focused on seeing things from a higher perspective. They're saying that also too is about balance, and that's why they were talking about balance. They're saying in regards to balance that in order for you to be able to continue to operate in the energy of abundance, and they're saying to clarify that it's not going to stay. You're not going to always feel abundant, but what we are trained and taught to do, if we want to, right? We have free will. If what they're training and trying to teach us to do is in those moments where you lose sight, refocus. So for someone, you've lost sight. You may be sitting in an energy right now where you feel very unsupported, where you feel like you're lacking, where you're in that Five of Pentacles energy. And this is where they're saying to slow down. So in those moments when you lose sight of the abundant energy that you naturally are, they're saying to circle back around to it, come back around to it, come back around the corner is what they're saying, and remind yourself of who you are. And a part of that is your ancestral lineage. Okay, so as that tree stump, they're saying go back to your roots. Where did you come from? Who came before you? What did they conquer? What did they overcome? See, a part of what I learned in going through, like becoming that stump and kind of like growing up, really that's what happened, is I just kind of got put through so much crap that it was like, you need to grow the heck up, girl. And I realized like, oh, I was blaming everybody else, but it really was me the whole time. Sorry, y'all, I just didn't know. But in becoming that tree stump, there is a maturing process. But for me, I think I shared this in another reading, my life shifted when I recognized who my ancestors were. When I recognized the trials, the tribulations, the things that they had to overcome, I was like, oh man, I came from power. There's no way I'm going to sit here and allow life to defeat me. No, I'm going to rise above this because the people before me rose above this. And you don't have to have some tragic history of, like something crazy happening to your ancestors. It doesn't have to be that. It's the fact that they endured the times that they lived in. Okay, can you guys imagine walking around on, like having horses pulling us through areas and things like that? For those of us who have vehicles and have air conditioners and heaters and stuff, I mean, there are still people who live in parts of the world that don't have those things. So it's like, how dare, and this is just my perspective, it's not the ancestor speaking right now, this is me, guys. How dare us think that our lives are so terrible when there are actually people out there who are suffering, and your ancestors suffered. It doesn't matter where they came from, where they lived, they suffered at some point in time in their lives because they didn't have a washing machine like we do, right? So it's just putting those things into perspective helped me to be able to see like, oh my gosh, my ancestors were strong, and that same strength has been bestowed upon me. So now let me use that. Let me see things from a different perspective. Let me rise like the eagle. Let me face this storm head on, although I know it's going to shake me up. I know I'm going to get beat up in the storm, right? Like metaphorically, I know I'm going to feel like I came out of a washing machine and a dryer when I'm done. However, I'm not going to be defeated to the point to where I lay there and just give up. And that's what your ancestors did. They pushed through no matter what. So that same strength, now you have it for you to do the exact same thing, to rise up and to push through. But it requires that we circle back around the block and refocus. All right. Going off on little tangents, guys. Forgive me. Okay, so let's see what else they have to say. This energy feels very beautiful, guys. It feels freeing, honestly. Like, I feel like there's a release. I don't know if it's a tower. It kind of feels like it to me. But I feel like there's a release of the weight of feeling like you're inadequate. That's how this feels to me. There's a release and a relief of the burdens of feeling like you're doing this alone, or like things aren't going to actually work out in your favor, because there's a recognition that this is purposeful, that there's absolutely intention as to why things are happening the way that they are. This adventure card is also confirming that. The adventure card is speaking to the fact that life is absolutely, wow, look at that, what's underneath it, the phoenix. Life is absolutely about riding the waves, the highs and lows. But the adventure is the journey. And, it's same thing with healing. Like, a lot of people say a lot of stuff about healing. For me personally, I think healing is like a safari. I know my healing journey has been like a safari, where sometimes I'm like terrified. Other times I'm like, this is so exciting. I love it. And then other times I'm like, what the heck am I doing out here? Why did I come here? So it's a bunch of like adventurous, crazy, like every time you turn a corner, you could run into something different, but there's beauty in the process. Have you ever driven through, like, I'm being reminded of this time I drove through a park in the state of California. I was driving through Yosemite National Park in California. Even no matter where you are in the world, you may have heard of it. It's one of the like major state parks. Anyways, as I was driving through this park, it was dark outside. It took a long time to get from one end to the other, okay, guys? So it became dark, and I was terrified. Every time I turned the corner, I would see something different. I turned the corner, first time I saw a stag, and it was just staring at me in the dark, and I was terrified. I turned the corner about 20 minutes later, and I saw a bear, and I was terrified. And then other times it was beautiful. I was seeing mountains, there were waterfalls, there were streams, the trees were big, they were beautiful red trees, So you see beauty, and you see like scary, terrifying moments through life. You experience highs and lows. However, the ancestors are just showing up to say that on this adventure, you're always going to reach your destined location, okay? No matter what turn you take, no matter which path you pave, no matter which way you go, you're going to get there. So it's more so like slowing down to enjoy these breathtaking views, slowing down to allow yourself to feel the grace and the beauty of the moment. Now, this is so interesting because I don't know why I'm sharing so many like personal things. I don't mind sharing personal things, guys. I know some tarot readers don't. I don't mind at all, because I'll tell you why. We're all on this journey together. There is no hierarchy. I don't know more than you. I don't feel like it's the other way around where you know more than me. We're all on the path. We're doing what we're doing. Let's share and help each other. There's no hierarchies, okay? Not to me in the spirit realm. And I think the second you start doing there, then you send yourself over into Lucifer's world, where you want to start, becoming something that you're not supposed to be. So over here, there's none of that. I have no problem sharing my personal stories. But what they're showing me is, what they were telling me to share was basically, there's things that I'm waiting to manifest too. There are things I know they're coming in for me. I know that I have manifested them, and I too have to constantly try to figure out how to remain in this energy and slow it down. But one thing that was recently revealed to me in regards to manifesting is to be grateful for the moments. Okay, so that's what they're showing in this adventure card, is to just stop and express gratitude. So for me, what I've been doing as of late is just saying, thank you, God. Like, thank you so much for even allowing me to be seen for this opportunity, right? Like, I'm just overwhelmed by the fact that you show up for me. I'm overwhelmed, and overwhelming in the sense of being grateful, guys. So it's like I'm overwhelmed by the fact that I could even be seen or recognized for this opportunity, for this position, for this title. Like, wow, like I'm just amazed at that. And that is assisting and supporting me in staying focused on the higher vision and slowing down. Because when we operate from a state of gratitude, that is bringing ourselves back to the now. Because when I'm sitting in gratitude, I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm not trying to even seek any opportunities. I'm simply just expressing how thankful I am for the moment, and recognizing that I see that what I desire is coming, but I'm just thankful that I'm even being considered for this. And so they were just telling me to share that with you all, as it may be a tool to benefit and help you as well. Look at this pleasures, guys. This is crazy. Pleasure. This is what's coming in for you. This is what's coming in for you is complete and utter pleasure, satisfaction, being able to bask in the beauty of, wherever you're at, whatever it is that you desire. And it's like, they're showing this as like cracking open, like the heavens cracking open for you to where you're actually able to enjoy your life. Guys, I truly apologize. I'm having terrible, like allergy issues right now. So I have to keep stopping the video, but hopefully it's not too big of a disruption for you all. I truly apologize. What they were showing me though in this pleasure card is that for a lot of you, you haven't been able to relax. You haven't been able to really enjoy life. They're showing that it's almost as if you've had this stain on you, and this stain has prevented you from actually being able to enjoy the pleasures of life. So they're saying for some of you, you may not have been, removed from pleasures. Like maybe you do things, maybe you've had fun, maybe you've gone out on adventures with your friends, family, etc. Maybe you do things that are fun and exciting. However, you haven't really been able to find pleasure in those things to where you find them to be like super enjoyable. It's almost like in the now you may be focused on doing something else or waiting for something else to come in. Whatever's coming in for you, this shift in energy is going to allow you to enjoy where you're at. You're going to actually find pleasure in it, okay? You're going to find pleasure in life. You're not going to live in the state of fight or flight or survival. That's what's shifting, and that's where clarity is being brought in, that life is meant for you to enjoy it. You're supposed to find pleasure and enjoy life and your life experiences. That's almost been robbed from you until now. Wow, that's powerful. Something about breaking of dawn, at the breaking of dawn. Does that mean like tomorrow? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying. Help me. I don't know, guys. That's interesting though. The breaking of dawn. I'm gonna look that up and see. The breaking of dawn. Like, what do they mean by that? All right, let's do one more. Ooh, you saw that magician at the bottom of the deck? All right, guys, let's see. Ooh, look at this. The Knight of Swords with the Chariot. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, they're saying that you are accomplishing that which you've set out to do. So you see how determined he is? They're showing this as like your determination, your ability to embrace clarity, because for some of you, although these things are hard to accept, you are fully embracing them. You're embracing them due to this vision and focus, embracing it even when you don't believe it or you don't understand it. Because for someone here, you are actually questioning like whether or not these things are going to actually happen. And I think it's just because you've had to guard and defend and protect yourself so much that it's hard to believe that things are going to start going good for you when they haven't shown up that way. Life hasn't necessarily been good to you. And so there's a questioning, even in your attempts to stay focused, to try to see the higher perspective, to slow down, to believing that you are abundant. Like there are disruptions in that energy because you just haven't seen it. And I just want to tell you, that's okay. Your ancestors are like, that's fine. Tell them it's fine. Don't sweat it. It's your determination, your agility, they're saying. Okay. Your ability to be able to push through and endure to the end is what's going to get you what you're looking for. That's so crazy they're saying that because, guys, the Chariot is actually about endurance, stamina. And also, this is the year of the horse. They're bringing that to my attention as well, that this year is going to be a year for you of forward movement into the abundance that you represent, that you are, and that you are going to receive. They're saying it's twofold. Okay, abundance is you, but it is also things that you receive. You can receive things that gift you more abundance. You know, they're showing this as like a machine, okay, like a slot machine, but not a gambling machine. It's more so like a machine that has the claw. Okay, does everybody know what that is? I think so. The claw machine. So as you put money in, you're going to receive something back. So as you pour into yourself, you start to see and focus on the higher perspective. You're able to slow down. You're going to begin to notice that you find more pleasure in life. That means that you are abundance. You are becoming abundance. You are abundance already, but you are becoming more abundant. And also, it's going to allow you to be able to receive more abundance. So they're saying, as you become abundant, you shall receive more abundance. Wow. You know what they're telling me is there's a scripture in the Bible, and it says that your gifts are given to you according to the amount of grace that you have. I think it's grace. The amount of, no, faith. It's faith, guys. Forgive me. I'm like, what the heck am I talking about? The amount of faith that's gifted to you is based on your gifts and your calling. So you're afforded an amount of faith based on whatever it is that you're called to do in this world. And so that's what they're saying here, is that the level of abundance that you attain has already been gifted to you via your ancestors, right? This is your inheritance. That's why they said abundance is your birthright. This is naturally yours. However, the more you recognize it, you will find yourself having a more pleasurable lifestyle, and you will receive more throughout the process. Wow, this is like a manifestation class. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this, because this is really a lot of great info. Okay, this is awesome. Guys, look at this too. The sun at the bottom of the deck. This is rejoicing. This is celebration. This is also allowing your inner child to be free. So something that they're showing me in that sun energy is that in order for you to really tap into complete and full abundance and pleasures to where you can enjoy life and enjoy the pleasures of life, your inner child has to be free. So for a lot of you, you're going from this energy of, again, feeling like you have to defend yourself constantly with that Knight of Swords energy, or like you have to, protect yourself because you haven't been protected. Those around you, those who were supposed to love you, they haven't protected you. They've disappointed you. And so with that, you haven't felt free. But they're saying now you're going to recognize who you truly are, and that abundance is going to flow out of you because your inner child is actually going to be free to enjoy the pleasures of life. Okay, it's like you're going to have what you need, so you don't have to feel so resistant to doing the things that you desire in life, right? Because oftentimes, this is what they're showing me, oftentimes most of us are so focused on working, and again, like even when you go on vacation, you know there's a saying that you need a vacation from your vacation because you're exhausted and depleted by the fact that you're doing so many activities, right? You're going. It's like no time to actually sit, take a bath, and relax. So they're showing that energy of constantly feeling like you're doing, or you have to keep going is going to be released. That's that weight that I was feeling earlier. There's going to be a release and a shift. So then you no longer have to feel like you're in a war for life, or like you're just constantly battling against life. Life is going to become a lot softer and a lot easier for you. I'm also seeing like this chariot they're showing me is like the chariot's going to move forward at a steady pace to where you feel like it's a consistent, steady, calm pace. It's not going to be like I think things are going to come in for you like, I really am seeing like a tower, and I'm seeing the Eight of Wands. So I'm seeing you go from feeling like you're in this Knight of Swords energy of like constantly like fighting, like life is fighting you, into complete like shift in the energy, joy, happiness, satisfaction, contentment, finding pleasure in life, this abundant energy. And then I'm seeing from there that this chariot energy is just going to go at a slow and steady pace that is consistent for you, so that you don't have to feel the energy of overwhelm. Now, this doesn't mean that life isn't going to happen. It's just that you have the tools now, the vision, the focus, being able to slow it down, recognizing who you are as abundance. And that's going to keep you in the mindset of like, oh my God, life is lifing, but I've been through things before, I've overcome them, and I'm going to do the same thing this time and every other time. Okay, so the next card here is the Two of Wands. This Two of Wands energy, this is interesting. Give me just a second. Let's see, because they're giving me some information. Oh, okay. You know the story of the three little bears? Oh no, the three little bears, the three bad wolves were trying to or the big bad wolf, one maybe was just trying to huff and puff and blow the houses down. Remember the houses, like one was made out of straw, one was made out of, I don't know, clay or something like that, and the other one was made out of brick. They're saying that the brick wall that was blocking you, preventing these things from coming in. For some of you, this is you. This is your own mental abilities, right? Your own wounds of the past, like seeing life through the lens of the wounds rather than seeing life through the lens of hope and inspiration and faith and believing that things could shift for you. You've shifted that perspective. Okay, for some of you, this could have been an energetic block, maybe by something happening, but it feels like for most of you, like you maybe were your own brick wall and you've sliced through that is how they're showing this. That's so interesting. I've never even seen this card like that, guys. I've had this deck for so many years, but they're showing that you sliced through the brick. And you notice that this is complete division here. This is also blocked off. So it's almost like your ancestors have come in to support this and blocked off those bricks, those blockages from ever being able to present themselves to you again. And that Two of Wands was based on your actions. I'm hearing rebuilding of the foundation of you. So for a lot of you, the foundation of you may have been broken down with tower moments. I'm hearing several tower moments. You were able to rebuild the structure, and now it's stern, it's sturdy. What am I trying to say? It's sturdy, it's firm. That's the word. Sturdy, it's firm, and it's enduring, they said. So your energy has shifted from instability with that Knight of Swords is what I want to say. That's the word that wants to come through, to now stability. So now you have a firm foundation to where this abundance can sit. They're saying that that's something else that we probably don't recognize, is that abundance needs a foundation. If a foundation is shaky, so meaning if we're imbalanced in our thoughts, if we're imbalanced in the way that we process experiences, if we're imbalanced in the way that we view the world, if we're imbalanced in the way that we view others, they're saying that that can also affect our ability to create this firm foundation for abundance to reside. Wow. Because they're showing abundance, guys, the way that they're showing that to me is like an egg that's sitting on like a concrete that's maybe like going through an earthquake. And they're saying that that abundance is gentle. If you think about it, that makes perfect sense. Oh my God, it makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. So like if there's earthquakes, if your life is shaky, if things are chaotic for you in life and you're not able to find balance and stabilize the rocky ground from the earthquakes of life, then yeah, that egg is going to crack, right? So they're saying that you had to be stable. Also, they're talking about themselves. This is why they've grounded you and rooted you in them so firmly, so that you would know where you came from in order to be able to stabilize yourself and your energy moving forward. Wow. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting this, okay? The Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh, guys. The Seven of Wands. What? And look, the sun wanted to come out. Bottom deck is that Nine of Swords. You notice this Nine of Swords in this deck has that third eye right in the middle. And that's because this is what you've cut through. You've allowed yourself to be able to see clearly through the pain. Okay, you'll notice that there are like basically three swords here, although this is combined into one, whatever. Like imagine three swords here. This is how it's being shown to me. 1, 2, 3 swords. That's the heartache. That's the trauma, the pain that you've endured from life just disappointing you, right? And then you'll notice that there's 4 swords here. 1, 2, 3, 4, slicing through, bringing rest. That's that 4 of Swords energy, clarity. You've meditated, you've prayed, and you've made peace via your third eye, being able to see things from this higher perspective, being able to trust your guides, trust your ancestors, and that's allowed this energy to dissipate, okay? It's allowed the Nine of Swords energy to no longer reside here. There's clarity in understanding that divine timing is exactly the right timing, and then also it's showing that you've matured. You'll notice like this Knight of Swords to the Ace of Swords is absolute maturity, guys, because the Knight of Swords, he can be kind of defensive. He also just kind of says and does whatever he wants. He's not really like thinking through a lot of his thoughts. He's immature, but immature in the way that he communicates and thinks. Okay, so communication, think about communication in all facets. That's the way you think. That's the way that you talk to yourself, that you talk to other people. This can come out in like as like anger, aggression, frustration, irritation, making other people feel stupid. Like things like that come out in that Knight of Swords energy. But transitioning from this Knight of Swords to the Ace of Swords is like a brand new you has been created through the process of you enduring this and making a choice to choose to separate yourself from energies that block you from the abundance that you are. That's so dope. That is so awesome. So now look, you've almost been like crowned and adorned with this energy of protection. You'll notice that this hand has like a steel covering over it, a steel glove, I guess you could say. So this is showing how you're divinely protected, how you have opportunities to blossom and to grow. And the crown that's been gifted to you is one from your ancestors that is supporting you in being abundance. Wow. Whew, that's powerful. The Chariot here with the Seven of Wands, they're showing this Seven of Wands as you receiving a reward, okay? They're showing this as like a ribbon in the back. Never saw that before, but there's a ribbon in the back here, and they're saying that this is the reward. You know how you can go to a competition and they have, okay, say for example, like at like a local fair, they have pig competitions. Whoever has the biggest pig will win, and they win this ribbon, this bow. So it's like you have accomplished the unattainable. You've overcome things that were basically very challenging to overcome. It's like you've created some sense of like miracles is what I keep hearing. It's like you've done the unthinkable, the incomparable, right? You've been able to overcome and tackle the energies that have resisted your abundance. And because of that, that's why the Chariot is now moving in your favor. And again, going back to this Sun, I mean, I already said this, but it's like they want to emphasize that now is the time for joy to come into your life. For some of you, this is going to be a partnership with someone that is going to bring back the vibrancy in your life. For others of you, this is your connection to your ancestors and to your guides, to spirit, that's going to revive you and allow you to fall back into the state of your truest self. Okay, this is like coming back home, returning to home, and recognizing that your home is abundant. Wow, what a freaking phenomenal reading. Oh my gosh. Guys, expect something to happen. With the Chariot, the Ace of Swords, and the Sun, I would be expecting some type of communication. Breakthrough communication is what I'm hearing to come through for you to catapult this energy, okay? Catapult this energy. I swear this feels so strong right now, and just focusing on the prize is what's going to bring this in. Remember to slow it down, wind your energy down, and allow yourself to enjoy the pleasures of where you're at right now, because that's going to shift soon. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, liking, and subscribing, that would be fantastic. It'll just bring others here with us. Only the ones who belong. I only want the people that belong. All right, anyways, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.